Hello. So nice to meet you. Reading world scriptures quotes. Today quotes are about hell. We read the book from the beginning. You could find all video on our channel, Message to Billions. So let's start reading. No one likes to think that they or their loved ones are desired to hell. Yet it's a beautiful truth that most people live out their lives far away from original standard of God's love. The human condition is too often this: we allow our thoughts and desires to be captive to the will of the flesh. Our mentality is continually self-seeking. We habitually ignore the prompting of conscience. We betray those we love and then run away from facing the consequences, as well as the truth about ourselves. Having lived this way for 70 plus years, is there any hope of fitting into the crystal clear society of heaven? What is hell? Some traditions describe it as a place deep underground with rivers of fire and sulfur. Some say that hell is but a state of mind, yet as anyone knows who has experienced the pangs of intense loneliness, remorse, shame, guilt, or loss, such state of mind can be excruciating vivid. Furthermore, it is said that in the spirit world, if it will not be possible to avoid such feelings, as is usually done within the body, through such devices as forgetting, rationalizing, or losing oneself in sense pleasures or drink. There is no respite from unpleasant feelings, which remain to torture to unfortunate soul continually. To describe such pain beyond comprehensions, scriptures use concrete images: burning fire, boiling water, bitter cold, being crushed, hacked, and dismembered, trampled, burned, and eaten alive. We conclude with several passages that hold out the possibility of rescue from hell. The Eastern religions regard all state of hell as purgatorious, designed to meet our punishments for a period of time, that the evil karma might be burned up and the soul have a future opportunity to find the path. Father Moon teaches that God did not create hell. Indeed, its very existence is the affront to God's goodness and a nail driven into his loving heart. If we have sufficient love, we will do whatever it takes to turn others away from hell. We will even like Jesus, who harrowed hell during his days in the tomb of the Hindu hero Vipasit, rescue the people imprisoned in the dungeons, torments of hell. Hell, where the worm does not die and the fire is not quenched. As for the cowardly, the faithlessness, the polluted, as for murderers, fornications, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their lot shall be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death. There is a stream of fire from which emerge poisonous flames. There is no one else there except the self. The waves of the ocean of fire are aflame, and the sinners are burning in them. Hell is before him, and he is made of drink, festering water, which he sips but can hardly swallow. Death came to him from every side, yet he cannot die. Before him is a harsh doom. Hell will lurk and in ambush to receive home the arrogant who will linger there for ages. They will taste nothing cool in it, nor any drink except hot but water and slops. Fitting compensation, since they have never expected any reckoning and have witting rejecting our sins. Everything we have calculated in writing, so test, yet we shall only increase torment for you. Some of the sinful are cut with saw, like firewood, and others thrown flat on the ground, are cropped into pieces with axes. Some their bodies half buried in a pit are pierced in the head with arrows. Others fixed in the middle of a press are squeezed like sugarcane. Some are surmounted close with blazing charcoal and wrapped with torches and smelted like a lump of ore. Some are plunged into the heated butter and other into the heated oil, and like a cake thrown into the frying pan, they are tortured about. Some are thrown in the path of huge maddened elephants, and some with hands and feet bound are placed head downwards. Some are thrown into wells, some are hurled from heads, others plunged into pills full of worms are eaten away by them. Having experienced in due order the torments below, he again purified. Then the man of unwholesome deeds boils in water infested with worms. He cannot stay still. The boiling pots, rounding and smooth like bowls, have no surfaces which can get hold of. Then he is in the jungle of sword blades, limbs mangled and hacked, the tongue held by hooks, the body beaten and slashed. Then he is in Verani, a watery state difficult to get through with its two streams that cut like razors. The poor beings fall into it, living out their unworldly deeds of the past, gnawed by hungry jackals, ravens, and black dogs, and specked vultures and crows. The sufferers groan. Such a state is experienced by the man of unwholesome deeds. It is a state of absolute suffering. So a sensible person in this world is as energetic and mindful as he can be. Another quote, there men were dismembering one another, cutting off each of their limbs, saying, this to you, this to mine. When asked about it, they replied, in this way they have treated us in the other world. and in the same way we now treat them in return. There are diverse regions in the hollows of the face of the globe everywhere, some of them deeper and also wider than that which we inhabit, others deeper and with a narrowed opening than ours, and some are swallowed and wider. All have numerous perforations and passages broad and narrow in the interior of the earth, connecting them with one another, and there flows into out them as it obeys a vast tide of water and huge subterranean stream of perennial rivers and springs, hot and cold, and great fire, and the great rivers of fire and stream of liquid mud. Think of it, pour into a vast region of fire and form a lake larger than a Mediterranean Sea, boiling with water and mud, and proceeding madly and turbine, and after making many coils about the earth, flung into Tartarus. And when they did arrive at the place to which the genius of each severally conveyed them, first of all they have sentenced passed upon them, as they have lived well and piously or not. Those who appear to be incurable by reason of the greatness of their crimes, who have committed many and terrible deeds of sacrilege, murders, foul and violent, or the like, they are hurled into Tartarus, which is their suitable destiny, and they never came out. Those again who have committed crimes which, although great, are not unpardonable, with who in a moment of anger, for example, have done violence to father or mother, and have repented for the remainder of their lives, or who have taken their lives to another under like extenuating circumstances. These are plunged into Tartarus, the pains of which they are compelled to undergo for a year, but at the end of the year the wave casts them forth, and they are borne to the Acherusian lake, and there they lift up their voices and call upon the victim who they have slain or wronged, to have pity on them, and to receive them, and to let them come out of the river into the lake. And if they prevail, then they come forth and choose from their troubles, but if not, they are carried back again into Tartarus, and from thence into the rivers anxiously until they obtain mercy from those whom they have wronged. For that is the sentence inflicted upon them by their judges. Further, let's read from Messiah Second Coming, Reverend Simon Moon quotes, hell is a place where everyone is totally self-centered, each insisting that he or she is the best and highest. With that attitude, they argue and fight continually. Yeah, remember our world a bit, no? Hell is the realm of Satan's love. Satan adores only hatred, jealousy, division, and destruction. That is why only these things fill Satan's realm. And This characteristic of Satan manifests as words. Hell is full of people who are proud of their power, their money, and themselves. A person's original mind desire to love and be loved and pursue goodness. The people living in hell do just the opposite and face continual conflict. Yet being in hell does not remove the human desire to be loved. Actually, the yearning of love is felt even more strongly. What then will you do in the afterlife? Will you eat? Yes, you will eat, but is shown by centered on love. Those who do not have love cannot open their mouth, no matter how much they try. That is the law. If you love only yourself and not the whole, you may try to eat, but your mouth will not open. Uh, if you try to eat with chopsticks, the chopsticks will swerve sharply to the right or the left. It is miserable existence. In the spirit world, anything is possible with love, but only with love. Otherwise, nothing is possible. In the spirit world, most people dwell in various levels of hell. How did they end up living there? Some fail to practice filial piety as benefit good sons and daughters. Some had the mission of patriots, yet did not fulfill their mission and live for the sake of their country. Some were chosen to become saints and live for the sake of the world, but they did not attune themselves to that rhythm and hence failed to reach that level. The accusations we could face in the spirit world are far more fearful than the severest persecution on earth, because I know that every persecution, no matter how heavy, is easier to endure than the accusation of the spirit world. I am clear about the path I should go. Heaven is a world of light, and hell is a world of darkness. You may have enjoyed your earthly life, but once you arrive in hell, the darkness will quickly overcome you. It is like drinking for a while you are in high spirits, but later you feel regret of your choices, tell you it was the wrong thing to do. It will also ask, where are you going? People who suffer continually from pangs of conscience belong to the world of darkness. If only their conscience were pleased with them, then they would display the original nature with themselves to relate to the world of light. This world is in house. How about the spirit world? The same confused people live there. Therefore, the spirit world must likewise be in house. It is logical. A thief with a criminal record cannot just drop his bad habits when he crosses over the spirit world. There is too, he would be a thief wanting to own things without making effort to earn them. People like him are unable to fit in with heaven, so they went off and formed the realm of hell. God did not create hell, human beings formed hell. Do people desire their new house to be a garbage dump? No, they build a nice house, but after living in it for a while, it became like a garbage dump. Hell is like that. Many people on earth think that there are only two different places, heaven and hell, but in reality, there are many different railways from very evil places to very good places. Heaven is a place of comfort, but life in any of the levels below heaven is difficult and uncomfortable because the people fight each other continually, everyone insisting on their own opinion. Each region is filled with people who are of the same type. So after a while, living there became tedious. For example, people who on Earth were accustomed to stealing things dwell in a region of the spirit world where people are always suspicious, thinking that everyone around them is looking to steal from them. Their lives are forever filled with distrust and anxiety. Likewise, people who on Earth were accustomed to fighting live in a region where fighting goes on continually. If you discern further into the lower region, you came to regions of hell that are suffocating, dark, and scary. They smell horribly, worse than the smell of rotten meat or fish. Deformed figures appear in front of you, beating each other, yelling of each other with hate-filled voices. There is a region filled with burning holes, and in each one a wrathful person is held fast. The worst regions are reversed for those who were sexually corrupt or who committed suicide. They seem to be filled with snakes, but on close examination, each snake is an ugly, deformed human being slithering about. People living on the earth do not realize how frightening the regions of hell really are. They would not be able to stand it even for a minute. From the kingdom of heaven to hell, the various regions of the spirit world have colors of differing hues. The kingdom of heaven is a bright realm, transparent and white. It is without any stain, clean like flares, white jade. But as we descend, the colors became darker and darker and dirtier, first being then darker shade or purple. Descending to still lower regions, the color becomes brown, then gray, dark gray, black, and pitch black. The more sins committed, the darker the color. Also, spirits who committed many things with a certain part of their body show dirtier and darker colors in that part. People who denied God on earth are more pitiful than people who starve to death. Those who deny a hunger many depends on their merit, be granted a certain standing in the other world. But atheists have no standing because they deny the spirit world exists. They became wandering spirit, wandering about the spirit world like clouds. Just as clouds gather and produce rain, they gather and create evil influence. They dwell in a hell and inflict pains there. Yes, this is the most hard quotes, and the secret is to live life without pain of conscience. Let's live like this. If you have difficulties about clearness of your life, please watch one more time this video and share to all your friends that are suffering from these evil things. Maybe they could be resurrected. Wish you a good day today. Contact me anytime for counseling and cooperation. All the best.